What is up, distinguished guests? Welcome back to the Low Budget LCS. My name is LaChance, and I am joined tonight again by the ever excellent Vega. What's up, man? How you doing tonight?
I am doing well. Happy to be back casting again. Another night of wonderful games, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Another friend.
Little bit of a later stream, a lullaby stream, if you will. We're here to maybe help you fall asleep, get in the mood to have wonderful league-related dreams. Oh shit, we've got a couple distinguished guests following right now. Oh, Itty Bitty Banshee, thank you so much for the raid once again. Hell yeah. Alex Keys and Yo Adrian, thank you guys so much for being the newest investors in the Low Budget LCS. And Vega, I don't know if you saw the link. Let me maybe send it to you, but they
Yeah,
are
I was just gonna say.
beautiful.
Perfect.
I'm gonna tab over to that right now. Maybe get this. Did I do it right? I did it wrong. It's always
It worked
one
for me.
thing. Okay. It's happening. Nice, we got it. Okay, we're in the draft.
It's here. All right. Pretty spicy bands here. Tickle Teemo with the Malzahar, Zillion, and Akali. That feels targeted. That doesn't feel like what you just ban in a normal game, you know?
No. Something's gotta be up. This is intentional. Very much on purpose.
The Aurelion Sol first pick. We do see Bingus Flingus got rid of the Morgana, the Viego, and the Annie, leaving the Aurelion Sol up. Aurelion Sol extremely strong right now, so always exciting to see that come through and put a little timer on the game.
Yeah, he's a pretty scary dragon at the moment.
Yeah, I played a few games today. Just I had a really good day, so I wanted to ruin it.
Nice, dude. Yeah, of course.
Aurelion Sol, you win in lane, and just at some point he throws a planet at you, and you're a reminder of why you normally ban this champion in solo queue.
It's an incredibly extra champion in a world of Lux lasers and Jinx rockets. Throwing a planet at someone is just next level dramatic, coming out of the minds of Riot.
Truly so. But I will say, shout out to Riot for making it at least feel like a space dragon. It actually feels pretty good to play. Not so much to receive, but to play, it's fun.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
We do see Vex Nyla locked in for Bingus Flingus. This is awesome. Nyla gameplay. We don't get to see Nyla a lot. I think she's a really interesting champion. And Vex, obviously, what do you want to do to Aurelion Sol? Not let him farm, dive him. Vex feels good against that. We do see a Caitlyn answer on the other side. You pick a low-range AD carry, Caitlyn's usually the answer into that.
Very, very much so. Lux lasers, you say, says Laser D20. I'm just assuming you've played a little bit of Lux yourself. And maybe a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Who can say?
That feels like a safe bet.
Yes. If I was gonna make two spurious guesses, it would be those.
Ooh, the Senna.
Yeah.
This is a pretty exciting. I'll say this: if you're a low range in bot lane, Senna and Caitlyn are probably two of the champions you do not want to play again.
Oh, a terrible nightmare is brewing in the bot lane. Ooh.
This is
How do you feel about that, Soraka? Do you think that's the answer if you're gonna get slapped around a little bit?
I do like it because Caitlyn and Senna don't have a lot of lockdown to punish Soraka. And Nyla's kind of weird healing passive that she gets with Soraka, where she gets healed, it kind of bounces heal back a little bit.
Yeah.
Is really fun. And then it kind of puts this weird, like, okay, I'm Caitlyn Senna, I want to harass you, but Soraka can hit Qs and heal, and you get this weird stalemate lane almost sometimes.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting. I feel like junglers are going to be massive down there. If you can get somebody to come in and lock someone down. Speaking of junglers, a Nocturne ban coming out on the side of Bingus Flingus.
Yeah, I assume Tickle Teemo plays that a decent amount. Probably another target ban. But shout out to Bingus Flingus here because Soraka kind of different than what they've been playing. They've played Rakan, Rill, Amumu, and Blitz support, which have all been kind of all-in support. So Soraka kind of deviating from that norm.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting. Oh, a Teemo ban. They're hovering it.
covering the Teemo ban.
I mean, against the team called Tickle Me Teemo.
Can you give him Teemo? Can you really?
A new ban. Now, I did see some threats, some casual threats being tossed around in the Discord by a Sammy Slap about really wanting Tickle Me Teemo to play Teemo.
I feel like it's your namesake. You have to, right? At some point.
You think every member of the team can play Teemo and they can just sort of move it around?
The ultimate flex pick. That's a requirement, actually, to be signed by Tickle Me Teemo, is that you know, in your tryout, play Teemo and show your skill on it.
I love that. Yeah. Whatever position you're trying out. I mean, credit where credit is due. Teemo can do it all. They can play every position.
It's true.
Teemo Jungle does not exist. Teemo Jungle cannot. Yeah, man, just don't think about it. Little Robot Man coming in with the tier 1 sub, of course, saying LeChance Licks Toes. Thank you so much, Little Robot Man. I see you, dude. Every stream. It's incredible. It's incredible like clockwork. I can't even be mad about it.
And the end of the draft goes fast and furious. We get Sejuani, then a Kayn, Malphite, Answer, and then a Sylas on the side of Bingus Flingus. I gotta say, there's some pretty good ults for Sylas to take in this game.
Yeah.
All of those. We'll see whether could be Sylas jungle, could be Sejuani jungle, could be a amalgam of different things here. But I want to hit on kind of the Ornn Jarvan ban, because Bingus Flingus actually played Ornn in 3 of their last 4 games.
Oh.
And Jarvan in 2 of those games. And I like to point out when teams have really cool styles. And that's Bingus Flingus kind of plays the same tank top engaged jungler every time. And now they're picking potentially what is either a Sylas jungle or a Sylas top lane, which either way they're going to deviate from what they've done if you scouted them, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, there's, Bingus Flingus being on stream yesterday, you gotta wonder if Tickle Me Teemo had their eyes peeled, if they were ready and waiting for this draft here.
Oh, yeah. And I do love when teams, especially early on in the season, play those kind of team fight comps, because it's a little bit easier communicationally, to know what you're doing. And then as you get more experience together, it's a little bit easier to branch out and be like, okay, now we can kind of play the split pushing 1-3-1 style and things like that, But who doesn't love a Sejuani? It's the most simple thing to let your team play with. I'm going to dash in and ult somebody and we all hit that person.
It harkens back to simpler times of Season 4. And, just CC is king. Just keep dumping it on folks, and eventually you're going to get your guy. And You know what? That principle has never really fallen away, and I'm grateful for that. Worst case scenario, draft a bunch of CC.
When in doubt, just play a team fight comp. I do feel like in this game, there is a little bit of a scaling advantage to Tickle Me Teemo. Obviously, you have the Aurelion Soul, the Senna, but Kayn also can be a little bit of a late game nightmare.
Sure.
When Kayn gets to those super low cooldowns and he's ducking in and out of things and constantly knocking you up, it can be very annoying to play against. But like all of us know, any late game Sylas taking a Malphite ult can turn a fight at any time.
Absolutely. That's one of those ults where you're just like, there's always a chance. There's always a chance that you can win the team fight if you land a 5-man Malphite ult, if you land a 5-man Orianna ult. There's just a little bit of hope. That flame kept alive.
Exactly. And late game, all the Teemo hover we love.
Of course. All right.
Although that is Bingus, I believe.
Yes. They know what they're doing. Taunting.
So it is the Sylas top. Okay.
All right. How do you... And it's really in Soul Top. Did you say that?
No, I'm just noticing.
I'm just processing that right now.
So there's this weird metagame of like, Vex wants you to dash, so I'll play Malphite mid who can't dash, and then she won't get her fear stacked as fast. But ultimately, I don't think the laning for this is going to matter an incredible amount. Really, and so of the mid laners that can go top, at least he has his fly. It's on a long cooldown, but is a little bit safer than some things. And Malphite mid, I think realistically this is going to go to team fighting anyways. I don't think the laning itself is going to be a huge deal.
Sure.
They're both AP solo laners to be against, so Malphite's build isn't going to deviate a ton, depending. Right. We're just fingers crossed it's AP Malphite and we get to see one-shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do...
Very...
I worry a little bit for Nilah in this, being low range into this comp.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Nilah definitely is on the shorter end when it comes to range, and she's going to find a lot of difficulty surviving, especially in these mid to late game fights when there are so many keys that can be pressed just to cause a lot of trouble for her. But that's what Soraka's there for, you know? You got a health pack,
exactly.
You're going to run around, and we'll see if they can heal through it.
Yeah, and they have a lot of engage options. It's hard to focus Nilah when you have Silence with Malphite ult. You have Sejuani, you have Vex diving into your backline. A lot of times it can be hard to even pay attention to a carry like Nilah because you're so worried about peeling your own carries away from the threats that they have. And the great thing about Soraka, you know, a silence in a team fight clutch, as we've seen a lot, and especially LEC recently. One clutch silence in a team fight can turn an entire fight.
Absolutely. It does look like they switched back, really, and Sola is going in the mid lane. Malphite's going to the top.
Okay.
Well, the less interesting thing happened, but, yeah, you know, you get it.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Also, Radifelia and Chef Dash. Thank you guys so much for being the newest investors in the low budget LCS. We're happy to have you here. I see your first time chat comment was last. A brilliant twist on a popular first comment. Well played. Laser says BF's comp is really dependent on Sejuani being useful. How do you feel about that? Do you think that holds true, that this whole early mid-game rests squarely on the Sejuani's shoulders for Bingus Flingus?
I do think Sejuani will have opportunities to do things, especially early. You expect Kate Senna to pressure Sejuani's jobs a little bit to alleviate that pressure so Nilah Soraka can kind of get to their safe spot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Once they get on at least like an item and a half, Nilah Soraka should be fine. But getting through that early, and it made me think of something that I don't actually know how this interaction works. How does Nilah, when she hits her Q attacking with Sejuani's passive work?
I don't have a goddamn clue, but that's a great question.
I have no idea how that works.
Does someone in chat want to answer that?
Yeah. Well, how does that work? Because, like, I assume if she's still attacking melee, it stacks the Sejuani passive.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, also, the predictions are up.
Predict, guys.
You may have seen it, you may have not. It's probably in the last couple seconds if you haven't, or maybe it's done. But yeah, Laser's gonna
Just
Google
kidding.
it. Yeah.
Google it and let us
yeah.
know, because I have no idea how that interaction works.
Love it. Thank you so much. And also thank you to Darkened Sun. Thank you so much for being the newest investor in low budget LCS. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it.
That was good. That was much better than I would have done.
Yeah, thank you. I did. Ooh, this one I can do. X-Cursed Wolf. Thank you for having an easily pronounceable name. You logged on to Twitch. They said, make yourself an account name. And you were like, I know exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be so easy to say. X-Cursed Wolf. Love it. Beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right, 37 seconds left on this spectator delay. Vega.
Another friend.
What are you going to predict? Who's going to win? Also, really quickly, so just more people following. In Angry Cactus 7, another excellent Twitch username right there. Just basically a full sentence. Why the 7 on the end? Actually, I know the reason. You wanted to be an Angry Cactus, but somebody else took that, and so you just threw a 7 on. I love it. I'm assuming that's your lucky number. Lucky number 7. Buy yourself 7 cactuses tomorrow. On us. We, of course, have no way of getting you the money, but if you can find them, they're yours.
Theoretically, yeah.
Yes, right. Emotionally, we
you need motivation to buy them. We are telling you it's a good idea.
Exactly. Super Dapper's right. It's cacti.
Oh, true.
Shit. Sorry. Or maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's get our grammar experts up
Someone
here.
tell us, please.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Let's see if...
Oh?
Okay. Thank God. Okay, all right. I'm assuming everyone held their breath at the same time, and that's why it worked.
It did. First try this time.
First try. Not like last time, our first stream together, when we had 27 minutes of delays.
It was good because it was my first cast, and you guys got to get to know me before I had to talk about League of Legends.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we got to talk about a lot of stuff. Oh, shoot. Hold on. How is this gonna work? Okay. Now... Now, my stream deck is not working the way that we would like it. It's going the exact opposite. Oh, no. All right, we still had a problem. Okay, hold on. Let's see if this works. Okay, it's going to go dark. Stream deck. Just going to open this up. Then we're going to go here. This is totally fine.
Guys, I got us in the meantime. Nothing is happening right now. Teams are going to lane and unleashing the first buff.
Okay, we're back. This should work.
There we go.
Yes. Yes. Okay, great.
It looks great. It looks beautiful.
Thank you. We're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. That is fantastic. Speaking of horses, Fertile Stallion, what's up? Welcome back to the stream.
Beautiful segue.
Thank you.
Segue.
Natural. Very natural. Here we are, game 1, Bingus, Flingus versus Tickle Me Teemo. Early laning phase, what do you think we're going to see here?
I expect to see Kate send a pressure, but if they both get hit by Soraka Q, this can be a little bit of an annoying lane.
Sure.
Sejuani and Kane are both going to pass top. I expect to see Sejuani try to be a little bit more active than Kane. Kane wants to farm, wants to get a little bit stronger before he starts to scrap. As we all know, Formless Kane, not the strongest on Earth.
Right.
And the name of the game for Aurelion Soul in mid lane is scale. Get that E down, hit as many minions as you can, stack up. Ooh, good trade in top.
Yeah, I expect we're going to see a lot of those short trades up there until someone suddenly dies out of the blue and faster than anyone can talk about it.
Yep. Tickle Me Teemo wants to scale, get to team fighting in a special one. Bingus Flingus wants to have action early in the game, wants to do things. If you want an abridged version of what I think should happen.
Absolutely. Now, in this bot lane, what we're going to see up here on the top, they're just going to trade some blows right there. Some CC from the Silence Teleport going low from ADC, but they want us to see the bottom lane here. Hambo Baggins in a little bit of trouble. They trade a little bit of damage onto that Soraka. So this actually ties a little bit. Hold on, some more auto attacks coming out. No, just a lot of trading, a lot of skirmishing all over the map here. Wildcard is going to go in. Viking having to retreat just a little bit, throwing some traps down. They've got vision in that bush. They know about the traps. Can't fool them. Some CC there onto the Soraka. Viking going to walk up, doesn't land the trap, but he will be able to go backwards, get that extra headshot onto Wildcard. And the jungle, that's right, non-stop action in this game. That's a flash from Kane. Had to use it. Well played.
Yeah, and just non-stop action here. And this is what Bingus Flingus wants, right? They want to trade early here. You know, Soraka, there's no anti-heal yet in bot lane. They're not poked down completely yet. And in top lane, Silas has the push, so Malphite can't really trade back into the wave. So because he has that prio, Silas can walk down and Sejuani can take the scuttle. So we see a little bit of that early pressure manifesting itself into some wins here for Bingus Flingus.
Absolutely, and on the side of Tickle Me Teemo, it looks like the rest of that exchange, Malphite was able to escape, used his teleport to come back up topside, and has just gone back to farming here. But now TP advantage for this Silas. Probably going to use it just to get back to lane, but, you know, it's something.
You never know. You know, if a dive happens, something like that. But it is nice to have that. At least now the TP's more on Silas's terms. You know, could shove the wave in and get it, as opposed to having to TP back from, you know, getting chunked.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about Soraka theory. Hold on, we might have a little bit of a fight down here. Nope, never mind. Oh, but we do in the mid lane. Swaggly coming in here. Lots of damage onto the Vex. First blood going over to Kayn. Clean and easy.
That's really good from Kayn, finding an opportunity there. And also more pressure off of your Aurelion Soul, right? Aurelion Soul now gets the assist, accelerates that a little bit. And Kayn, who wants to get to form early, gets to hit another champion, gets a kill to accelerate the gold. Just great stuff here from Tickle Teemo.
Absolutely. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like popular... Oh, some damage right here. Nyla going to go in onto the Caitlyn Viking, having to go backwards right there. Some nice dodging going on from Nyla. Walking away. Happy with the trade. Up here in the top lane, Sylas going in. ADC of Fame. Getting these auto attacks off. I think Bingo's going to live. Nice. Pulled off right before they got hit with the turret shot.
Malphite does hurt early in the game. I think a lot of people get lulled into the Malphite's level 6 is power spike, but if he Qs you, pops that W and starts autoing you, he can hurt you a lot early in the game, especially if you're slowed in minions. This is like the one time in the game the minions get their revenge for you killing them the rest of the game, and they take it. They beat you up early in the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Soraka, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the strategy is to hit the Soraka, right? Don't hit the carry. Wild card running up right here. Ghost has been popped, going in onto the Caitlyn Viking in a bit of a pinch. The trap does not land. Wild card getting a heal out from Viking. Second trap doesn't land either. Not a lot of mana left on the side of Bingus Flingus right here. Insomnian going low, but not out. So that was
to circle back to what you said. Yes.
Yes.
You want to hit the Soraka because, as I'm sure a lot of people in chat have experienced, you end a team fight and you realize Soraka had healed for like 4K and you're like, guys, we got to all in Soraka first.
Right.
The longer she lives, the more utility. And that all in may seem like not a lot in bot lane, but Ghost for the heal on Caitlyn takes so much pressure off of them because now there's no heal on Caitlyn. They're less incentivized to trade all in. And Nyla has a CS lead in bot lane against Caitlyn Senna, who really does need to pressure this lane to get an advantage.
You're totally right. I feel like we haven't seen that range advantage play out in the way that maybe we had imagined it early on in the draft phase. And I feel like that range advantage, I mean, do you feel like that is going to become more or less of a problem as the game goes on for Nyla?
Laning phase should be the toughest spot, right? Because theoretically, the only other time post laning phase they're really fighting into each other will be team fights. Now, obviously, if it reaches a point where Nyla's they're not able to dive the Caitlyn, they're not able to get to the Caitlyn Senna, then the range does factor. But I think for the most part, Bingus Flingus is thinking we're gonna all in onto the Caitlyn. Nyla's gonna be on top of her. It's not gonna reach a point where hopefully that will matter.
Right. Speaking of points that matter, up here we've got ultimates available and a little bit of a skirmish going on. Bingo and Malphite just trading damage back and forth, pretty even. Sylas actually maybe on the losing end of that trade there.
Yeah, I actually love the Merc treads first from Malphite. He's essentially saying like, I'm gonna be able to Q, take the movement speed, run away before you can trade me, and you're not gonna deal with it.
Going in. I think I saw. Did I see an ult right there? No, I did not. Nobody got knocked up. Oh, hold on. Hambo Baggins maybe going in maybe a little bit too ham. Flashing away, trying to get some damage out here. But Hambo going quite low. One more auto attack should do it. Nyla gets that kill. That was everything that Bingus Flingus wanted.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Sejuani on the bot side of the map. There should be a dragon right here. And it's exactly what you want to do against a comp that wants to scale. Early attack the lane you need to. Turn it into dragons. Push the game forward as fast as you can, because even if topside like Sylas isn't winning those trades, you say, okay, that's fine. Sylas walk down, we'll secure a dragon. It's fine. Like, we're winning bot lane. You don't have to win top. You just take Malphite ult and use it every team fight, and we'll win bot side.
Absolutely. And a great, even just roam in practice from Sylas, walking through mid lane with that ult, going down to dragon. Just a great tool to have while Sylas still has it locked and loaded. Really, really good from Bingus Flingus here. Boy, that's going to get hard to say. Okay.
I know, I keep referencing my note. I'm like, Tickle Teemo, Bingus Flingus, both are kind of tongue twisters a little bit.
There's certainly a lot of teams have different naming conventions, and some people are like, let's just make it as odd as possible. The logos are also beautifully strange.
They are beautiful.
Absolutely. The Bingus Flingus one is haunting. Oh my god. So Dragon taken off the map. Bingus are the ones who have started to stack that.
Ooh.
And we've got Rift Herald down here, but hold on, in the top lane. And now back to the mid lane. Okay, we're gonna get a full charge off there. Get some plates. Just getting, that was the first damage I think that had been done to the tower.
I believe so. Ooh, nice Senna W there.
Yeah.
Sneaking that around the minions.
Yeah, very much a curveball. Okay.
Yeah, I will say this, the bot lane here is so dangerous for the side of Tickle Me Teemo because Caitlyn and Senna kind of need to push to do what they do, but every time you push up, you run more of the risk of being all in, right? You're farther up the lane, there's a lot of room to do. But they're doing a great job now eating resources. You know, making Soraka heal, making Nyla pop the W here, things like that. Just a little bit of trap, just a little bit of damage. And as they inch them down, it makes it harder and harder for them to all in. As you see, Soraka's half health now. It's probably wouldn't look to fight as much as you would normally.
No, absolutely. They're definitely starting to put more poke onto that side. But here we go. A silence coming off. Does not land the CC. And there it is. From Vega's mouth to God's ears and into the game. Exactly what you were talking about. The dive did not go the way they wanted it to. And damage coming out big time from Caitlyn and Senna.
Yeah, and this is where they want to be because now the ghost is popped. You've eaten the health down a little bit. Nyla under half health. Now you're free pushing, right? Senna has her own healing. She's free to just...
Oh, look at this. Hold on right now. Coming around. Absolutely. Nyla does go in a forced flash away, but I don't know how you get out of this with a Sejuani ult locked and loaded. And Senna ults maybe just for fun, though, as both bot laners fall. And now 4 men begin to roam wherever they want from the bot lane.
That's beautiful. That is exactly what you want to do as Bingus Flingus. You've had some trouble in the mid lane. They got the rift off. Aurelion Sol is getting, stacks. He's being able to get gold. In top lane, Malphite's trading, but you're winning the bot lane so hard right now. And not only are you winning it, you're getting the other lanes involved in winning it. You're saying, Vex, I know mid lane's tough. You got rifted. You've been ganked. Come bot, pick up a kill on this gank because we're winning here. And that's such a good read for teams. If you're winning a lane, you want to play to that winning lane because then if Kayn shows up, you're playing to your strong part of the map.
Absolutely, and once again covering for that range that I'm sure everyone is well aware of in the bot lane, that range advantage. They're helping their teammates out. Easy peasy. Let's take a peek at CS across the board here. Top lane, Malphite has really been out-farming Sylas. Has that surprised you, or is this sort of par for the course?
I was a little bit surprised because of the early trading on Sylas, but Malphite kind of... It may feel like Sylas is a counter to a lot of people because what he can do with his ult, but Malphite kind of loves those melee matchups, When you have to walk into his, E and Q and he can harass you, Malphite's, especially with some recent buffs a couple patches ago, pretty good at CSing with his W.
Yeah.
And we've seen Sylas kind of walk down the river the one time, give a wave. So it's about where I think it probably should be. The biggest concern is Aurelion Sol's got 123 CS.
Yeah.
And Aurelion Sol very quickly becomes very scary.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they really haven't been able to disturb the mid lane as much. I mean, should that be more of a priority for them than sort of sending resources down here to that bot lane? Speaking of which, we're seeing that play out right now. Sejuani coming over the wall for a bit of a surprise right here to the Tri-Push. That's so much damage coming in. Hambo Baggins absolutely deleted. Kayn going in as well. Aurelion Sol here too. Caitlyn getting off these headshots just from over the wall here. Really good front-to-back fighting, and it looks like it's just the Senna that's going to fall for now. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and that's why you play. That's why you play to your strong side of the map. Even though it's 4v4, the lead on Nyla Soraka down there is so much that they know they can win that fight. They're saying, Aurelion Sol's missing mid. We know that even if they show up down here, we'll be able to get a pick and disengage, and that's exactly what happens.
Absolutely, and second dragon. It's what's for dinner, and they're going to take it. I don't know that we can really see a steal here. Aurelion Sol maybe can toss something in. Let's find out. Looking pretty low. They get it. Red team secures it. You always got to be a little nervous that you're going to mess that smite up.
Yeah, I mean, anytime I'm juggling, I'm like, my smite's down, even if it's up, just in case I miss, so my team didn't expect me to have it.
Right.
Just, I don't have smite.
Another friend.
But it's really good to get the second dragon because For people who don't know, the way normally you win games as a scaling comp is you survive the early game, you give resources, and then what you do is you start to team fight into the next couple dragons. But what happens is if you're the early game team, you have to get these dragons because what that means is you put a timer on the other team to make them fight you before they've scaled.
Absolutely.
You have a gank
Speaking
top.
of fights, we absolutely do. 3-man, but look at that. Malphite followed up by Malphite. Can't run away from the rock. Well, you can. Bingo gets back to tower. He's totally fine. Good use of good cognizance to use that as a defensive tool.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to do a lot in top lane, so props to both of them for being like, let's just ult so we both
Oh, the flash forward. Bingo says, hey, you're not the only one who can cause someone to sweat up here.
I think the E from Silas hit a minion the second he
Oh, did he?
cast. I think he hit a minion right in front of him.
Brutal. Brutal.
Oh.
Truly the bane of that
happens.
ability.
We've all been there.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? Missing skill shots left and right.
I will say Malphite does have TP, but looks like he's going to try and hang around for this wave. The TP, you know, as the game goes on, becomes more and more valuable. So as we break the 15-minute mark and you can TP anywhere on the map, you're less inclined to just want to,
Once
try
again, a third gank. Try again. Up here in the top lane, Bingo still going to make it back to tower safely. I expect this is not the last of the ganks we're going to see up here in the top lane. Also, Fenbach, thank you so much for the follow. Thanks for being the newest investor in a low-budget LCS. My apologies. You were saying.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's always good for Kayn to also go get a couple of auto attacks and damage in lane like that too because of his stack system that he needs to transform. So even if a gank doesn't look insane, Senna!
Hambo Baggins in a little bit of trouble. Vex proving that they can do what they did 3 minutes ago right again. Look at that ult from Vex. Really making Soggy Bottom Boys sweat.
Yeah, and Vex is one of those champions when you're behind and you're a supporter AD carry, she just always seems to know where you are. And that ult always seems to come from the craziest angles. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, Viking in some trouble right here. 2 turret shots, though. With the Soraka, I mean, who even cares?
Yeah, exactly. You think you traded back some good damage, then Soraka presses the outplay button and they're full health again.
Ooh, this is going to be a dive. Look at Sejuani, look at Vex. I don't know how. If Viking gets out of this, someone needs to give them an award. Going for the back, I respect it. Sejuani ult will be used. As will everything else. All right.
Just saying, let's not leave it up the question. Let's just Sejuani ult and move on.
100%. Yeah. You'll feel worse if they get out than if you used an extra ult or not.
Exactly. And for Bingus Flingus, this is exactly how you want an early game to go. Nothing happened top lane to punish, that losing lane.
Oh, hold on. Fight here in the mid lane. Wild card walking up onto the Kayn. They are going to get away. Maybe, let's see, through the wall. But the chase is on. That's Ghost being popped by wild card Soraka. Not too far behind. A planet being thrown. And from downtown, the Senna ult able to help as well. And now the Kayn turns the table. Soggy Bottom Boys coming over. This is a 2v3 right now. Can they get the kill? No. Soraka's going to live through it. And Kayn's actually going to be the one in trouble. Taken out as they try to escape. A 1-for-1 on the day. What a fight.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're Tickle Me Teemo, you're totally fine with that. A 1-for-1 where Aurelion Soul gets a kill and you get a shutdown, it's really good for you right now. And we saw what Aurelion Soul can do if you walk into his ult. And if you look at the gold right now,
dude, I was
Tickle
just
Me
thinking
Teemo,
that.
yeah, it still has a gold lead.
When you're up, okay, Bingo. Maybe in some trouble. Yeah, that's a Malphite ult being used right there. Trying to get himself in between the tower and the Silas. He knows if he's able to grab the ult, he can maybe get out. But nope, not going to leave it to chance. Take Silas right out. First death for Silas, too.
That's my fault. That's Caster Curse. We just talked about how they weren't able to make a play on the top side of the map, and it's been so good. And then it happens. That's just our fault. We're sorry, Bingo.
That one's on us. That one's on us, Bingo. That was the free square in the center. Is that Bingo?
Yeah, it is, right? I think.
Yeah, sure. I'm realizing I haven't played a lot of
yet.
Bingo in my life. I don't know what the rules are. I'm certain there are rules.
Fellow kids.
Fellow
don't know what
kids.
Bingo is.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, this is a trap if I've ever seen one. Is Rocket getting out? God, Aurelion Soul. What? Just... I'm noticing now the over-the-wall synergy of this Kane and Aurelion Sol right here. Speaking of, Kane's going to go in deep. Hambo Baggins trying to be careful with positioning. And look at that, Vex on the side has their number, but Planet is going to get thrown down. Bingo, the target of the Kane ult, but it doesn't seem... Oh, here it is in response. Kane ult for Kane ult. Sylas going to try and find some safety inside, and Aurelion Sol's just breathing cosmic energy over everyone from the back line. Viking, too, getting these headshots. So far, only 3 members to fall in this fight. Aurelion Sol might be the next, absolutely, and now a 2v4 Viking falls as well. The Malphite, this is just the last thing for the cleanup crew, and now maybe the 3rd dragon for Bingus Flingus, the appropriately named team. But no. Do they want a tower? What do they want? There are 3 things on the menu.
Yeah, I think they're going to go tower dragon, which I do think is fine. You do still have TP up on Aurelion Sol and Malphite, and as we saw in that fight, they don't really kill things very fast yet. It was an extremely long team fight, but I think what happens is Tickle Me Teemo gets the Kane transformation. They get close to the finished stacks on Aurelion Sol, and they get the solo kill top, and they're thinking, we're at a power spike. We're strong right now, but you're not quite there yet.
No way, dude.
As
Kane
a team.
is here. No way, dude. Kane is here. Definitely within smite range. Kane is going to go for the steal. Can Tickle Me Teemo do it? No. But they went for the try. I'll tell you what, I was scared.
Yeah. I just feel like they went a little bit early. Like, they're
Just
not quite stacked yet. They're not there. Another 5 minutes, but a fight like that, that's 3rd dragon. They're on Soul Point, and Soraka, largely untouched in the second half of that fight, is just, 0-0-10 on the Soraka is right where you want to be.
Yeah. Now, sort of looking back at this gold lead now, that fight has put Bingus Flingus back in the lead, and they've got the stats from this dragon. It is still pretty close. Where do we think that's coming from? Is it just CS here? There are definitely leads across the board, but none of them are, like, insane. It feels like they should be way further back.
Yeah, it has to be, I'm going to say, the Malphite.
Sure.
Malphite, 20 CS lead, has the 2 kills. And I mean, Aurelion Sol, slight CS lead, but yeah, gosh, that's a lot of... It feels like this should be a lot more.
Yeah, it's not the shutout that maybe the numbers might suggest.
Yeah, we'll see. Positioning around this top side for Malphite.
Yeah,
he is not taking a lot of damage.
No, absolutely not. No, the Sylas actually being burned out right here. That's going to be Malphite ult used, and the rest of his team's going to show up. Hey, man, listen, you never have to fight alone. And Sylas just showed us that. Losing the 1v1, but if 3 other people show up, it just doesn't matter.
Great acting job from Sylas, the classic, look at me, I'm getting out-traded, don't you want to fight me?
Oh, no.
And unfortunately, it's Kane who pays the price. That is going to spur a Baron now.
Absolutely. Do you think they can do this right in the face of a Malphite with ult and an Aurelion Sol also with ult?
I think it's got to be a tool to bait a fight. I don't think they really want to commit to this because if you're grouped up in a pit...
right here, 2 circle-sized abilities in a circular pit, but whoa, that Vex is going to go for Aurelion Sol. Soggy Bottom Boys is able to survive, though. On the other end, Malphite! What is going on? An assassin and Senna, the sniper from downtown, not able to keep the Aurelion Sol alive. This fight is just starting off big right here. 3 people taken out for the side of Tickle Me Teemo. And they got Baron.
They do get the Baron.
I missed that.
That's a great play by Vex, just saying all my job is here is to make space for my team. Malphite's going to go in, but if I can keep Aurelion Sol away and not let Aurelion Sol get his ult on top of Malphite ult, we can win the fight, and that's exactly what they did. And now you're in that awkward... Caitlyn's not quite to... she hasn't finished the Zeal item. She's not going to have IE for a little while. Aurelion Sol still needs more stacks, and the enemy team has Baron and 3 dragons, and we now have to fight them at Sol.
Right. Yeah, very much so. 2 minutes till that fight. A lot can get accomplished with Baron in 2 minutes. There's still quite a lot of towers up.
Yeah, this should be a very value Baron. I think they're at a point now where Sylas should be able to get that top. They should be able to at least pick up one of the inners here and fall back to that dragon and take it.
Well, I think they're trying to make a play on Vex. Kane coming around the corner. It's going to be 3v1. Let's see if Vex can make their way out of here. That is some damage onto Hambo Baggins, but it does look to be just sort of a clean and easy gank.
Yeah, it shut down to Asol. That's what they wanted. Uh-oh, Malphite.
Yep, up here in the top lane. They're going to get tower and try and get the top laner as well. ADC of Fame just walking south as fast as he can, doing what the Malphite can do here. Viking has shown up, a 2v2 now.
Oh, he's a little bit tanky.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I kept waiting like, oh, Malphite's going to ult out of this, and then he just didn't need to. He just holds the ult. Great job, and they get the shutdown onto the Aurelion Soul. So important. Get that gold onto a carry.
And the fact that Viking... Oh, hold on. Let's see. That's going to be the stun coming out. I don't think Viking really wants to fight here. They should notice, yep, right up here in the front. That's a great Malphite out, a flash away from Viking. That is going to be a smite, a really good trap. But even with that, Sejuani still able to get the kill there and tanking like 6 tower shots. Sejuani still fine, still... Ooh.
Ooh.
Malphite playing fast and loose with their health right there.
Everyone is so beefy.
Yes. Absolutely.
All these fights are taking forever. But I will say, it feels bad to be Caitlyn right now because Caitlyn is one of those champions that has a really high early game and then a valley at 2 items, and then she has another peak at 3 items. And she's stuck in the valley right now while the enemy AD carry is moving towards that 3rd item. And you really don't want to be in a valley with soul spawning.
Well said. And I think, you know, just on top of... Oh, all right. Nice. Silas makes it over the wall.
Ooh.
There's a lot of dangers out there for Caitlyn and Senna right now. A lot of people who can ruin their day. This dragon almost done. It is going to be picked up by the red team. Bingus, Flingus, very happy with that. They've got Soul and probably are going to look for a fight. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, this is a great time for it.
There's the chase. There's the Sejuani ult. It lands onto the Kayn right here. Vex flashing forward to get that CC. Kayn's going to go in and be brought even further back. But look at that. Very slippery, very sneaky. And that's going to be an excellent ult there from the Silas. Able to keep himself alive. Malphite ult onto the back line, causing a lot of trouble and chaos back there. ADC of Fame is so tanky. Still doing their best Malphite impression. Tanking a lot themselves up there in the front of this fight. And they're going to back off. That's just 1 for 1.
Yeah, Aurelion Soul gets that kill also. It's on 3 items now as the Dragon, level 15. Pretty soon going to be on that tier 3 ultimate. You have to be dangerous diving in here as we see even the side of Tickle Me Teemo. They're pretty beefy. Yeah. And the Soul luckily does not go away regardless of what happens. They're going to have that for the rest of the game. But we do see a little bit of the issue here with Bingus Flingus' comp, which is that they don't cut through the beef very fast. That's not really Nyla's, game.
Right. You'll find yourself a kill, for sure. Maybe 2.
Yes.
But if Tickle Me Teemo's positioning properly and they only allow, the meatiest targets available, they'll be able to last a surprising amount of time. And we're seeing that reflected in the structures that are still left up. We're 30 minutes into this game, and there's been a lead on the side of Bingus Flingus, and yet the base is still very much intact for Tickle Me Teemo.
Yeah, and I'll say, honestly, the game does look grim for Tickle Me Teemo with the Soul going down, but I think overall, you feel okay right now.
Mm-hmm.
You still see the option, especially with that fight in bot of like, hey guys, if they overcommit to a fight, and we get to turn around Malphite ult, Aurelion Soul ult, we can still win in spite of, a Hex Soul. It's definitely still winnable.
Absolutely, and we talked about the scaling threats, right? You've got the Aurelion Soul, the Caitlyn also scaling quite well as well. And, technically Senna scales infinitely, right? So,
exactly.
Just keep that game going. 2-3 hours. Keep it coming.
I want to see Senna auto the enemy Nexus from their Nexus.
Yes. Perfect.
Get the infinite range out there. And Caitlyn does hit 2 items now. And eventually Caitlyn, if the game doesn't end, is going to...
Huh.
That was kind of an awkward interaction.
That was. I think Sejuani was just as surprised by that.
Yeah. It's weird in spectator because it's hard to tell if did she actually walk into the bush or was she just in the...
Viking in a lot of trouble right here. This is what we were talking about. Wait, did they just dodge the Sejuani ult? There are some heals and shields coming in. And oh my god, the rest of the team showing up. Viking actually survives for quite a long time right there. Wild card now in trouble. They went too deep and a 2 for 1. That was absolutely worth it for Tickle Me Teemo.
That's what we were saying. If they dive too deep on the Aurelion Soul, the ult does so much damage, especially with the Q. Oh, he's looking for more.
God. Yeah, going for the 1v2.
Great silence from Soraka to deny that. Baron is up, though, and you don't have a jungler alive right now.
Yeah, my God, they're going to go for it. This is a great decision from them. Vex, though, let's see, is going to find out. Okay, they know. Are they going to do something about it? They're just going to toss it in. No. Baron secured by Tickle Me Teemo, and the gold lead shrinks.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. And we talked about the whole game. You never know what's going to happen with the scaling comp. And even Kayn at 143, we saw in that fight in bot lane how long Kayn can live and eat resources in a fight.
Yes.
He got the flash out of Vex to get the fear, and then immediately just Q ult and is like, oh, I'm full health, and you just used all of your abilities.
Okay. No one worry about a thing. The game definitely doesn't end in 3 minutes. Don't worry about that. In fact, I'm going to stop saying that when that happens, because that is a fun bug from the spectator client, which I thought that Riot had fixed, but I guess not.
Now I'm actually really interested, though, because even though it happens...
Me too. Yeah,
this
who's going to win this thing?
The game is at a point where, realistically, I could see either team getting ace and ending.
Yeah, and that's almost certainly what's going to happen. It's going to come down to the team fight. I mean...
We've got Elder in 1 minute.
Yeah, we do. The question is, if that even comes into play, maybe that is going to be the fight. It could happen right here. I wonder if Baron helps end this game. Malphite ult is up. Lots of people underneath this tower right now.
Yeah, do have the high-ranged comp from Tickle Me Teemo sieging in mid lane, and this is one of the weaknesses. We talked about with Bingus Flingus is they're pretty low range. All the souls popping out.
Yeah, just a lot for Senna to stack right there. All right, let's see. That
really
tower
dangerous.
will fall. Absolutely. Bingus Flingus playing it safe and reasonable. Let's see if they get engaged on, though. God, every ability that's thrown out, I'm like, is this the thing that starts the fight? Does this land? But not yet. We'll see. Malphite ult has been grabbed. Bingo's got it. They're looking for something here. Still making use of Baron, trying to take down this last inhibitor turret right here. The last amount of health they've got. That's some good CC on the back line. They don't go for it just yet. Tower is going to fall right here. Malphite goes in right on the Soraka. Soraka's eliminated right away. Malphite in turn, ult being used back onto the side of Tickle Me Teemo, but everything is just getting dumped here, and the health bars from Bingus Flingus are melting away as the scaling is starting to come into play here. A Caitlyn ult from downtown gets wild card, and Vex, the last one alive, a flash away. But
Caitlyn's
from behind, Caitlyn's revenge. Absolutely.
She gets 2 kills in that fight.
Oh, for sure. For sure, Caitlyn had to feel good about that. And they've got Baron. Sorry for the spoilers, folks. This has got to be the end of the game right here.
Yeah, that is the danger of Aurelion Sol. Let this be a cautionary tale to all players who do not want to ban it. If you do not attack Aurelion Sol early in the game, he will throw a moon at you.
Yes, a full goddamn moon, and that is going to be Tickle Me Teemo taking down the Nexus and winning game 1 in this best of 3. Wild.
Wild game. Very fun game.
Come from behind, dude. You do not see that all the time.
I mean, a 4-0 Soul into a Baron, into them bringing the game back. That is a surprise, to say the least. But great game. I mean, really good job from Bingus the early game, getting their lead and pressuring and getting the Soul. I mean, realistically, you look at the playbook, you know, they're like, where did we mess up? We got Soul, we got Baron, we got...
Right.
But Tickle Me Teemo just enough later in the game, trading kills back and forth, just putting just enough pressure on to where Bingus couldn't end the game, and sometimes that's all it takes for Aurelion Sol.
Absolutely. Sometimes that's all it takes. Well, I mean, we got to talk about what... also, F2F, Rentros. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate the hell out of that, man. What do we think needs to be done for game 2, because you're right. This is an interesting situation. This is a game where both teams did kind of great, right? Like, Bingus Flingus for sure dominated a lot of that game. They got all the dragons, they got a Baron, they just weren't able to close it out, and then Tickle Me Teemo was able to hold on with a death grip and make it to a point where they could turn and finally win a fight and end the game. So what do these teams take away from that?
Never underestimate
I
the
think
power of
if
the
you
Scout's
are
code.
Tickle Me Teemo, you say, okay, guys, we scaled, but we probably can't do that every game, right? We need to. Early game needs to be a little bit cleaner. If we're going to draft the
Never
Kate Senna, we need to spend a little bit of
underestimate the
time
power
there
of
with
the
our
Scout's
jungler,
code.
or maybe have a little bit more active jungler to make sure they're safe to push in and pressure.
Mm.
And on the other side, it's hard to miss the obvious if you don't have an answer
Never
for
underestimate
Aesol,
the power of the
maybe
Scout's
add him to
code.
the chopping block, because it seems very clearly that Tickle Me Teemo is comfortable on that pick, knows how to play for late game with it. So I would say you got to think about that, but also
Never
just
underestimate
maybe think
the
about in your comp a
power
little
of
bit
the
more range. I
Scout's
think it really
code.
hurt them late in the game not having range
Right.
and not being able to realistically siege towers and things like that. But yeah, that would be my takeaway right now. I mean, I do
Never
think if you're Bingus Flingus, you're not,
underestimate the
you're
power of
not
the
getting down on
Scout's
yourself saying,
code.
hey, we were there, we were 9/10
Right.
of the way of winning that game. It happens sometimes. Teams just get a good team fight and scale on you, but you
Absolutely.
go back in with the same attitude in the next game, and I think you're fine.
Well, here's another takeaway. Fertile Stallion is a big baller. Thank you so much for those 5 community sub gifts going out to Man Cub, Wazak98, Super Dapper, Up Gremory, and Blonde Halfling. Thank you so much. The horse neighs. The horse. I don't know. There's something. For sure. There's some
something
sort of
there.
catchphrase. Yeah. We'll work on it. We'll put our best writers on it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a fun game. Do we have did they post the spectator?
I don't think they did, and I think they're drafting right now. But we'll see. We'll see if someone's looking at it. Hey, here it is. Oh, you don't need to apologize, Christian. You're all good.
Totally okay.
Yeah.
These same sides, it looks like.
Yes. Thank goodness. Yes. Oh, we love it. We love same sides here. Makes it real easy on the stream. Okay.
Same bands, it looks like, from Tickle Me Teemo, the Malzahar, the Zillion, the Akali. And so far, Bingus Flingus, just the Annie and the Viego. We're waiting on the third band. Do they do it? The suspense.
It's killing me.
The
Aurelian
Aurelian
Soul.
Soul.
They've
It's
learned.
removed.
They've adapted.
They're saying, okay, we're taking the weights off now. I know you beat us scaling, but now beat us scaling without Aurelian Soul.
Yes. Absolutely. Hey, I mean, the late game prayer is a great strategy. Never mad about that.
Well, yeah, we've all been on teams in Clash when the game's going by like, we scale, even if your team's like Pantheon, Lee Sin, we scale, don't worry, we'll
Right.
get there.
Eventually.
Yeah, we do see the Jin. Going to be the first pick here.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Is Jin in a certain spot right now?
I feel like this is more of a, we think we can play this safely into any lane, as
Sure.
opposed to this is a huge priority for us. I
Sure.
can't see in any game that either of these teams have played, they have not played Jin yet. So
New.
this is
different.
This is new. Yeah, exciting. This is what you did with your week of scrims.
Yes.
You've discovered that Jin is good. That's cool. That's awesome. And I believe Pike would be a first time also.
Pike would be pretty scary for Jin if Pike gets rolling here.
Yeah, and one way if you're snowballing early game to make sure you really snowball is to have a champion that gives all of your team max gold on kills. Ooh, the Nocturne.
Nocturne. Wolf, you're 100% correct. Payouts, they're coming to you. Choosing the outcome. Tickle Me Teemo has been selected as they won game 1. Prediction completed. The money is in your Swiss bank account right now.
And there it is. And the Morgana locked in that was banned last game, chat. Aptly pointing that out. Also, the Malphite locked in again. Pyke and Nocturne, obviously, AD champions. Malphite extremely good last game. Will be good. And Morgana can deny a lot of engage onto a Jhin. Can be very annoying for champions like Nocturne and Pyke. Dashing in a Pyke and taking a Morgana Q to the face, not very fun.
Not at all.
I wonder, the Sylas is locked in again. I wonder if this is a flex, because I wouldn't think that you'd want to run it back into Malphite unless they think, oh, okay, it was just, I made a mistake in lane and, I should be able to play that out better. Because we did see top lane last game. It felt like Malphite had a lot of the pressure. Nunu banned away. See what they respond with here. We haven't seen the AD carry yet. The Vex is removed. They're calling it. They think it's a Sylas top. And obviously Vex can be very annoying with Nocturne. What Nocturne wants most of all is a dive buddy. So removing one of those is very good. Bingus decides to remove jungle and mid lane still out there. Looks like they're gonna say maybe the Kayn. Kayn obviously, the scoreline wasn't the same last game. It was very annoying, prolonged, and a lot of those team fights allowed carries to deal damage. So they are going to remove that, taking some of that comfort away.
Kale Shot says, looks like BF are going for dive.
Well, I'd say that is a pretty
Not wrong.
apt. Well, the Sejuani? Are they thinking the Nocturne? Is the Nocturne somewhere else, possibly?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's just for safety if it is a flex. Saying we'll take Sejuani away because Sejuani's a good champion. Should know a little bit more about it here. Bingus has played Victor. They played Lissandra. They have played a game of Sylas mid in which they played Ornn top. Ooh, Lucian.
Lucian's
Okay.
been in a couple different places.
Yeah, and I don't hate Lucian. He's high mobility in a game where you're probably not you don't get a lot of peel out of Pyke and Nocturne, so
Yeah.
you got to kind of fend for yourself back there. But Lucian is lower range, and what does Malphite love? AD carries with low range.
That's true. That's true. Zerath, too. That's a lot of range you're dealing with.
Say a lot of range on this team. I kind of like how this is building up, because you have a comp that says, okay, we're really high range, and when you finally feel the need to dive us, Malphite's going into the rest of your team comp, so no one can
Right.
follow up this Nocturne.
Right. Yeah, it's
like
going to be
that.
interesting. Bingus Flingus sort of, we'll see what this last pick is, but sort of showing us they like to be up close and personal. They don't think that was the problem. Oh, interesting.
I like it.
Okay.
Low range Nocturne, Pyke, and Lucian. Rammus can deny a lot of stuff. If Nocturne ults in and gets taunted at any time, it's going to be easy kills. I kind of like this. The only problem they might have is on times where they want to pull the trigger. Well, actually, no. Xerath and Jhin are such high range. I actually really like this comp from Tickle Me Teemo. I think this is really good.
Agreed. Oh, all right.
Well,
that kind of tied it together for me a little bit.
yeah, that's the dive buddy Nocturne loves. If you want your Nocturne to
Oh,
do stuff, put a
shit.
Galio on its back, and I do like that a lot.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Love that.
We do love Galio, Nocturne. Very good. The only question mark I have now is how is the Sylas Malphite matchup going to go again this game? I have faith in Bingus's bot lane jungle synergy. They did a really good job last game attacking the bot lane, getting a lead. And I do think this comp, a little bit similar to last game in the range issue. Lucian obviously higher range than Neela, but they don't have to worry about the scaling as bad. There's no Aurelion Sol and Kayn on the other side, no Senna to worry about taking over the game. So I like that they kind of leaned into saying, we do this well, let's do that again with similar picks and deny what they did to us last game. Oh, the client audio hearing Annie band. I was like,
my friend messaged me, of course, to play an ARAM. I said, sorry, I'm streaming. And he said, thank you, Daddy. Ooh. So.
It's beautiful.
Yep. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. True adult friendship. Sedge top, also a thing. Sedge can be flexed virtually anywhere. Oh, whoa.
True.
Goddamn. I'm just old enough that all the uwu stuff totally missed me. Like, I didn't see its on-ramp into popular culture. I don't understand its grounding, but I gotta respect
It's hold it's taken. Yeah.
the hold that's taken on the world. Exactly.
The youth of the world.
The youth of the world. Youth of the nation.
Hello. If you don't know, I'm Jeremy, so hello, Bio.
Ah! Bio. Swinging in, expertly identifying the voice. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it is. All right. So, has the Galio switched your... Is it enough to swing your feelings the other way? Or are you still, 60-40 Tickle Me Teemo?
If you gave me a blind taste test of the comps...
Of course.
I would say, wow, I really like this blue side comp. Very nice with the Malphite and Rammus, good answers. But I have seen how well Bingus Flingus plays the early game and how well they 4-man attack bot lane.
Sure.
So part of me is like, Galio, Nocturne are almost better tools than what you had last game for doing that. And there's no Aurelion Soul. So I would say
it's a good point.
It's execution. I mean, realistically, if Bingus Flingus plays the same game out and there's not an Aurelion Soul behind it, they could win the game. But I do like Morgana is a great pick for denying aggression.
Yes.
Rammus a great pick also for denying aggression. So it depends. I think both comps last game they were kind of total opposites of what they wanted to do. This game, it's a little bit closer and median to what they want to do. I expect to see more scrapping in this game than we did early last game.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Bingus Flingus, they like to play up close and personal, and they know how. They've proved it already. They can snowball. They know how to roam and get a kill, get an objective off of that kill, rinse and repeat until their hands are clean. But yeah, without the scaling, I mean, what's the late game savior on the side of Tickle Me Teemo? Or even is there?
It's not as much of one, but your Xerath Jhin hitting things from a screen away is pretty much what you're saying. It's like, hey, they've got this comp that, even though they're really strong, they physically have to walk up and punch us in the face if they want to kill us. And we're going to try to, like a bully, put a hand on their forehead and keep them at arm's length while they swing at us.
Of course. Classic windmill attack. Now, Bio's wondering what ults you think are best for Silas to steal from the enemy comp.
Malphite obviously is like the one everybody's going to look at and say, you want to be out. But quietly, Morgana ult is really good on Silas. Living in the team, popping the ult with the AoE going off while you yourself have, the ability to slow and root and things like that can be really annoying. And the harass of just stealing a Jhin ult and just shooting, and Xerath ult and just shooting at the enemy team when they're trying to contest an objective or something.
For sure. PPS delivery service, no range versus one type of damage in a dance as old as time itself. You're right in the trailer for this game. Also, Digoshe, what I first thought was Dinyoki, which it's not. Thank you so much for being the newest investor in the low budget LCS. Thank you so much for that follow. Silas scaling on Jhin ult is terrifying, remarks Laser.
That is scary. 4-shot on Jhin can be very scary. 4-shot on Silas in the ult can be also extremely terrifying. One thing I like about Nocturne and comps like this is it really tests your team's coordination. How good are your comms to where when the lights go out, can you still communicate what is happening in a team fight? Who is getting all in, who is not? So sometimes Nocturne, even in comps that where he isn't insane, is good and competitive just because teams that are less coordinated will botch fights that they should win because their communication isn't as good. So I like that a lot, and especially Xerath and Jhin. They're both immobile carries. So if Nocturne gets a couple kills early, he can ult and pop them pretty quickly. They don't have dashes and things to get away.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's gonna be if he gets rolling. I mean, it's just gonna be a buffet of bot lane targets. You know, Xerath as well for sure. We will see. Also, Kiale. I don't think I did a good job saying that. I want you to know that I'm not proud of how I tried to pronounce that. But thank you all the same for the follow. Appreciate it. Kale? Maybe it's Kale. Who can say? All right. 5 seconds till we get into this thing. Do you have a final prediction? You happy with where you're at right now? I really agree with a lot of what you said. It is going to come down to execution. But my heart is a little bit with Bingus Flingus because their team fight pulled off is a spectacular exercise in bloodshed.
Is it wrong to pick Bingus Flingus because I won a game 3?
No, it's not. Absolutely not. Of course, if both of us... oh, shit, I knew I forgot to do something. All right, Bingus Flingus is up 1 game. I did not change the background.
That's okay. You have time.
That's true.
Theoretically, nothing will happen early.
You're right. You keep us filled in.
I'll let you know what's happening. It is Morgana
Sure.
Pike. You never know. Oh, is that a ping on an invade?
Sort of shadow puppets. Of course they would do a level 1 invade while we're not looking.
I'll say there is the worry that you don't really have any high AP scaling on the side of Bingus Flingus. And if, theoretically, Malphite gets to a couple items, I'm not really sure how they kill him. Oh,
Sounds like a big fight's happening that I'm
trading.
missing.
1 kill over.
Fuck. All right.
It's okay.
Whoops. Okay.
It's important for us to know what the game score is.
Yes, that is true. Sorry, guys. This is, of course, my fault.
Surprise! The game's starting 1-0.
Another friend.
A patented LeChance whoopsie doodle. And of course, as is tradition, Trentosaurus11, thank you so much for the follow. I cannot begin to imagine what me fucking this stream up. Vega did everything perfect. Would persuade you to follow, but we appreciate it all the same.
Silas died. That's
cool?
What happened. It looked okay. It was kind of unfortunate walking into a bush and not knowing what was happening. Did blow the sums. It is first blood onto the Xerath. Gets to start with extra mana crystal, so a little bit annoying, but should be okay.
But that'll happen. Also, this is a fun one. Wee Willie 44. Thank you so much for following the low budget LCS. Appreciate it. Thanks for having such a fun name to say.
Okay.
All right, we're here already. Of course, Bingo going in. You know, coming into game 2 in the exact same lane matchup, there's something to be said about that. Both these guys have gotten a full practice round with this matchup.
Yeah, and is that a different? I'm just asking, is that a different Malphite skin than last game, or am I just crazy?
I'm gonna have to see it again. I think it is.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not crazy, right? Like, this is
No,
a different
no,
chat.
no.
Please let me know. Because I was like, yeah, here's the same matchup. And I'm like, what champion is this?
I think you're right. That's a different one. Laser thinks you're right, too. Okay, beautiful. Bingo
Ooh.
is going to do a gentle trade. Nothing to see
I'm not
here.
getting lulled into this again last game. We saw sign. Oh,
hold on. Pike going in here. Let's see if a binding does land. Insomnia in a lot of trouble right here. Ignite being dropped as well. Okay, back up here to the top lane. Bingo going in, trying to get AC. That's a flash from Malphite. Silas in a dominant position this time.
And this is the time when Silas can win these trades. Malphite's mana early is awful. It's like Blitzcrank. So he uses 2 Qs, he zoom. So you can abuse that, much like we saw last game. But last game, Bingo wasn't able to get the flash. Getting the flash this game is huge.
Yeah, that's massive. Maybe we'll see that reflect in how the rest of this lane plays out. Galio taking those abilities on the chin. Doesn't bother them at all. Pyke going for the Morgana, but it doesn't hit. Going in close, deep, dodging the stun from the Morgana, but that's still going to be some CC from Wildcard. Going to cleanse out of it right here. That's a flash. Nice. You need the dash as well. Insomnium says, take me instead. You're not going to take my ADC down. A flash away. Okay, they think they can get out. Oh my god. They absolutely can. Some great escapes here.
Everything used in bot lane, short of the flash and heal on Morgana and Jhin respectively, but like we said, they're going to be brawling, and ooh, Nocturne brawling a little in the river. They're scaring Rammus away.
You know, sometimes game twos convince people to play a little bit safer, right? There's a lot more on the line for both teams, but I do love that both these teams have just come out swinging.
Yeah, from personal experience, sometimes you also get the opposite, right? You get the guy who, when you're reviewing the game one, he's like, no, I'm better. Trust me. Just pick me, Lucian. I'm going to go in. I'm going to fight.
Right.
And then they're, level 2, like, we're going to win the lane.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is interesting. They did just play a very low range. Okay, they're coming back, though. Even well, the CC hits on every inch here. Oh, a heal. Onto the Morgana from the Jhin, keeps them alive. And some more skirmishing up here in the top side. Non-stop skirmishing all over the map. Get used to it.
Yeah, and we are seeing in the jungle a little bit of what makes Nocturne such a good jungler, and it's clear speed. That's the name of the game for Nocturne. He's got legs strapped to his arms. He can kick the camps down extremely fast, and
yes,
already level 5.
Yeah, really, really crushing it.
Meanwhile, no sums bot lane. Nocturne will tick 6 before those flashes come back, so a dangerous spot to be in is Jhin Morgana.
Absolutely. Galio just got 6 as well. We could see some sweet roams from the mid lane too.
Oh.
Let's see. Bingo
Malphite has
wants
to
this, gonna
flash.
dash in. Good escape from Pyke down here in the bot lane. Bingo still trying to stay in between. There is going to be no level 6 from the Malphite, but he's got enough space. He's just going to walk back to tower.
That is good. And we see the way the lane is set up right now, pushing into the Jhin Morgana with a large CS lead. So they're able to play a little bit with safety here. They know they can't get ganked right here, but also they're keeping the CS. Well, as I say that, the wave is destroyed. So never mind. Forget everything I just said.
Listen, we know what's going to happen. It's caster curse.
It's caster curse. We bring up the great wave state. The wave state dissipates. But I just love the action early in this game. And a great job by Rammus shadowing bot in case Nocturne had path to bot. Rammus was there to stop while his bot lane didn't have sums.
Oh, Pyke's looking for it. Never mind. Just playing those forward bushes, but they do not have a ward to see this Zerath here. Now they're on the run. Both of them have dashes up, sort of an inside dodge here from the Pyke, trying to save that dash to get out of the way. Very, very good. Good dodge. All 3 forms of CC. Good job, Pyke.
Ooh, everything tickles the cape on Pyke, but does escape, not using anything. And that gives Galio a great chance to shove in. Should be a good base here, or... Yeah, great base for Galio here.
Absolutely. Scuttle Crab gonna be collected. Cortorants, please provide us with your wisdom. Who wins the game? Tickle Me Teemo or Bingus Flingus? Only you know the truth. You're a well-known precog in the community. Okay, this dragon is going to be taken by, surprisingly, Tickle Me Teemo. They did not get a dragon all last game.
Ooh, I think they're going to fight over it.
Oh, they absolutely are. Pyke's going to go, and that's a nice spell shield from the Morgana, but here it is. Galio with a WWE-sized entrance. That's going to be Wildcard taking down the Jhin, a 2-for-0. And Bingus Flingus says, no, dragons are our thing. We will take that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, is there any worse feeling as we cut back to the top lane of Malphite just seeing his opponent get a dragon appear on him as it happens? But that's one of those setups where I just feel like you don't need to go for that dragon that early, especially against the comp. Galio 6, he wants you sitting in that pit together. And yet again, we're seeing Bingus Flingus early game, very coordinated, very good job playing around it. And Lucian 2-0 now, you need him to be ahead. It's a good spot to be.
Yeah, and good on Pyke and Lucian for recovering from that really early skirmish where I believe all 4 sums were used from them. But they were able to make it to the other side.
One thing to point out, too, is this game, Sylas farming significantly better. So I like the let me run back to Silas. I didn't play the lane how I wanted to, but trust me, I can play it. And this game has been significantly better in top side.
Yes. Now, okay. Level 6 Nocturne. What do you think is going to be the first target with this ult?
Right now, there's flashes up everywhere on the map. Morgana's just ticking back. So I think you're in a weird position where you almost need to track where somebody makes a mistake first. Obviously, you and Galio want to buddy up into lanes a lot of times because it's just easy. But we see Xerath roaming top.
Yeah, Bingo might be in some trouble. Let's see if... All right. Pretty cheeky dodge. He's fine. Binding does go a little bit wide right there. Level 6 for Jhin, but I don't know if that's going to even come into play in this fight. Whew. Pyke, just a hair off. Also, the precog has spoken. Cortorin says Bingus Flingus is going to win. Why? Because it's a great name.
It is a good name.
Ain't that the truth? Level 6 coming in for the Pyke. We've got executions on deck. Just something else to worry about for Jhin and Morgana here.
We're trading in this top side. Silas just trying to wear down as much as he can. Malphite to dissuade him from all inning.
Walking forward. Oh! Just misses, but it's going to go in anyways. Okay, Morgana ult in the response right here. A flash away, but it's still going to land. Lucian's got to get some damage down onto Hambo Baggins, but a flash away. Flashes all over the place. A 1-for-0 right now. Now Wildcard's got to run. Let's see. And just caster curse all over the place. Of course, Jhin ult becomes a part of this fight. Gets the vision, and look at that.
Oh, Morgana walks into tower range.
We've all been there.
We've all done it. You're trying to get vision. Ultimately, it's super worth because if you get the vision, so Nocturne just being annoying, but you get the vision for your AD carry to get the kill, and now your AD carry gets the farm, get plates, do all the fun stuff you want your AD carry to do. And much like last game, Tickle Teemo doing just enough to keep the game close early.
Yes, but in some remarkably different places. Okay, there it is. Who's afraid of the dark? The answer is gonna be Malphite. Holy shit, a flash away and a Malphite ult. 2 turret shots. Not gonna bother Stilt. Really well played. And down here on the bot side, this is a Jhin alone. Wildcard dashing in. Very, very nice use of the pull. A great execute from Pyke right there. Just textbook.
Yeah, good job punishing Jhin. Wanted to overstay and get a little bit of more gold. But just like that, we're back to almost a 2K gold lead now on the side of Bingus Flingus. Much better than last game because last game they were getting a lot of stuff early, but they weren't building a gold lead early in the game. This time, Silas is farming extremely well in top lane. You're farming in jungle mid very well, and you have a 3-in-1 Lucian. So all of your lanes really have pressure and the ability to punish now.
Absolutely. I feel like the last, just 60 seconds has given us a real insight that, like, the theory is very sound. We saw the absolutely disgusting gank on the top side. 3 people involved in that with minimal effort. Rift Herald picked up as well. We're going to see that used in the mid lane. And then, Pyke Lucian just making Jin's life a nightmare.
Yeah. We do for Tickle Teemo, though. You see with the Morgana and bot lane kind of the tools they have to halt aggression. If, Bingus Flingus, much like they did later in last game, get a little bit too aggressive, what can happen.
Yes.
Good on Bingus Flingus, though, this game. They get the Rift Herald. They don't allow Tickle Teemo to get that free extra gold to keep themselves close. And yet again, another dragon spawning here in just a second, and guess who's set up for it? Bingus Flingus already getting vision.
They love those dragons, and here it is. Rammus, nice. Making
that was a great flip.
It really was. Yeah, this Pyke knows exactly what they're doing. Up here on the top lane. Okay, back down to the bot lane. Wildcard unleashing a Lucian ult right there. Getting a lot of damage down. Jhin, nice.
Ooh.
Okay, forces the cleanse right there. Didn't even want to risk it. Rammus coming back here, but Nocturne, this is a 3v3, a little bit scattered. Where's the front line? Nobody knows. Rammus ult over the wall. Keeps themselves safe. And now, inside track. Bingus Flingus has it up here in the top side. A little bit of a skirmish. Nothing goes down. But they're not going to go for the dragon. Too dangerous.
Looks like they're a little weary, which is fair. With Xerath and Jhin, there's a lot of ability for them to poke low targets over the walls. Looks like they want to set the Nocturne ult up on bot.
Yes, who's afraid of the dark? It's gonna be the Morgana. Nice ult inside. Goes Zhonya's. They're gonna go golden. Nice with the ult, but perfect execution range for the Pyke right there. Very well played. Also, thank you so much to Titan Esports. What's up, guys? Hope you guys had some good games over there. Look at this Jhin ult and Xerath as well. That's an alley-oop if I ever saw one. Love that synergy.
Yeah,
Whole
that's what we talked
minigame.
about with the range. What they can do is, if you're low in any half of the map that they're on, they can threaten to kill you.
100%. Yep, they don't sweat it at all. This dragon's still up for grabs, I swear. This has been the longest a dragon has existed this entire series. The dragon's probably feeling pretty good about that, but the teams are probably not going to stop thinking about it.
Yeah, a little bit confused dragon. He's like, I'm not really sure. I heard that this happened a lot faster in these games. I guess
Right.
I'll just enjoy my time sitting in this kind of swampy pit.
Yeah, it is kind of a waiting room, isn't it? Although
Why is dragon there? You know, I think about that. It's just kind of like a watery circle.
is it an? I think it's supposed to be a nest, but it doesn't look
Is it a
very
nest?
homey. You know, they should be. All right, this is. I'm gonna predict somewhere in the next 5 years we're gonna have the dragon pit redone artistically, and it's gonna be a little nest. That's gonna be my call. We'll see if it comes to fruition here. Hambo Baggins in a lot of trouble. Health bar going quite low, but Rammus comes to the rescue. Viking running as well, and look at this. This is why you worry about Rammus. Two attack damage heavy people, and up here in the top lane, so close! Oh my god, Malphite almost gets it, but the return from Sylas.
Woo! The healing on Silas, just the healing on the W there to get the little bit of bonus health back to win that trade. But on the bot side, are you an auto attack champion? Well, then you hate Rammus, because what he just did in bot lane is exactly why AD carries an auto attack jungler.
Oh, Nocturne goes for the easy kill. Galio's just coming for fun. Oh, it's such a
give me the
sick
assist,
ult.
give me some gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not participate? There are participation trophies in this game, so you might as well get one. All right, Dragon. That is going to be the goal. Two important ults used, though. Pyke running forward, forcing a flash from the Jhin. Wildcard less than half health. That's going to be dangerous. Rammus sensing it, flashing forward, and Xerath with the assist, with the kill in the back line. Two dives going on at once here, and that is going to be Tickle Me Teemo losing two people. The Rammus barely getting away. Well, Sylas maybe going a little bit too far. Dragon now on the table for Bingus Flingus. A name that, as we predicted, only gets harder to say as the game goes on.
That's right, and that's TP advantage in and of itself. Sylas TP to the bot lane, secures that dragon, secures the bonus kill. Oh. A back denied. This is actually kind of important because Malphite's pushing. There's no TP on Sylas.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Lucian's going to have to rotate up there, and now we see Galio dropping the TP. They say, don't worry, I'll take care of it. We'll just collect some gold. Rift Herald up for grabs, too. We know how much Bingus Flingus likes their objectives.
Yeah, Bingus Flingus doing an extremely good job this game in the early game. It seems like they took what they learned last game and have pushed it to the limits. Not only are they making the plays, but they're also securing the gold objectives on the map. The CS, they're catching the empty waves. So now there's less room to do things, but Xerath 3-1, you've got 3 kills on the Jhin. Both of the carries that Tickle Me Teemo has can deal damage, as we've seen in these fights. The question is, can they get the setups and hold on in the game long enough to get to item thresholds to make it matter?
That is the question. A 3K gold lead for Bingus Flingus. They've had gold leads before, and unfortunately it did not go their way. Pyke really trying to cause some trouble for this Jhin. Oh, he dodges the Pyke ult, but they're still able to chase him down. Nice Gale Force from the Lucian.
Very good job there. Pyke being a menace in this game.
Absolutely.
Exactly what you want to see. As opposed to last game, they've done a much better job finding picks. Bingus Flingus has been more active on the map in between objectives. Instead of just winning fights on objectives, they're finding picks before the objective.
Too true. Speaking of picks, though, they are going to go for this Malphite. Do they have the damage? He's a big, beefy boy. He's actually going to knock Pyke around a little bit. And Rammus, look at that Malphite ult right there. Everyone is jumping on Pyke. They take him down. Good binding from Hambo Baggins here. Nice follow-up with the Xerath damage. They've got some pretty consistent wave clear. It's going to be hard to to dive that double.
Yeah, Pike can make plays on a lot of champions on the map and does pretty good damage to most people, but Malphite, he's a pretty beefy boy.
Absolutely. Chat pointing out the flash, well taunted, had to walk back to his doom. That, yeah, an unfortunate situation for Pike there.
Yeah, not a very fun one when you flash and your champion starts walking directly back towards what's trying to kill you. But ultimately, thankfully, Pike has a dash, so hopefully that flash being down won't be too big of a deal. And Malphite catching up largely in CS thanks to that teleport play and finishing Jack, so in a good place now.
Absolutely. Bio requesting that we instant replay it. I will work on acquiring that system. I'm sure it's somewhere. Ooh, Rammus, look at this. Has his eyes on Pike. Wrath ult, nice, okay. Just getting some nice vision right here. Actually hitting 2 people with that. Oh my god! Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row, 3 easy shots, and now Jin, fish in a barrel. Gonna go for this Nocturne right here. Don't know if it's enough to kill him. Certainly enough to scare him. Sylas is gonna have to back off here. Boy.
Yeah, and lots of mid lane prio. I mean, that's what we talked about with the range and draft. I mean, Xerath behind his mid lane tower, killing someone under the other mid lane tower.
Absolutely. Nice taunt here, okay. 2 big bowls of beef stroganoff gonna be fighting each other. Nothing really gonna go on, but that's a-okay.
Yeah, it does. I'm not. Oh,
Hold on, Nocturne coming up. Maybe he's got the damage. A flash away. Nice Malphite ult. Had his head on a swivel, and it kept him alive.
Yeah. One thing I've loved about this series is we've gotten to see a lot of Malphite ults, and Malphite ult is a fun ult to watch.
Yes. No.
And that's all I have to say about that.
It truly is. It truly is. There's a lot of real fun ults to watch. Galio is really up there for me. Already talked about it a couple times, but Nocturnal is all right. Getatsu or Gaptopsu, as you're known. You want me to pronounce Stroganoff again? Because I said it real wrong. Because I was talking too fast for my brain. I went to the gym before this. I'm sleepy, tired. But we're here. No excuse. I would have pronounced it wrong. Someone you don't know.
You did great the second time.
Thanks, man.
And I think that's what matters. All we can ask is that you grow from your mistakes.
Wow, Vega, that was really beautiful. I appreciate
That's all we can
that.
ask, you know? That's all we can really ask.
You're right.
Speaking of fun ults to watch, we might see some right here.
Traps, absolutely. Oh, a great flash from the Soggy Bottom Boys. The teleport coming in. Once again, it's the Dragons. Bingus Flingus would hate to ruin their streak of taking every dragon that has appeared in these 2 games so far. But let's see. When the long-range team plays to long range, they win. When the close-range team gets close, they win. We'll have to see who can fight in their favored range. Let's see what ults are up right here. Nocturne does have the ult up. Galio, though, frontlining right now. Malphite ult. The lights go out, but that's a lot of damage onto the Bingus Flingus team. Let's see a dive into the backline. Nocturne trying to take out the Soggy Bottom Boys, but Jin still alive, dealing damage from the backline, able to reload. Galio, though, with the taunt. Oh, Morgana shield, but just a little bit late. Let's see. Oh, final shot. Not even final shot. Third shot. Gonna take out that Nocturne, and this is a great cleanup from Tickle Me Teemo. Oh, look at that. Nice, clean alley-oop. But Pike gets out, and the first dragon of this whole series is going to go over to Tickle Me Teemo.
Okay, hear me out. So, Bingus Flingus lost 100% of the games where they got 4 straight dragons. So this could be a good omen.
It certainly could be. I see Chad is still dunking on me for absolutely whiffing on the pronunciation of Stroganoff. I'm sure that's how it's said. I'll order it next time.
That was beautiful.
And I'll go to a restaurant that has it, and I'm just going to hold the menu up and say, I'd like this, and I'll point to it, and I'll see how they say it.
It was beautiful. I got chills hearing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Spoken in its truest form. Oh boy, gold. Pretty close, huh? 400 gold lead.
But as we've seen before, and when you're the scaling comp, when you're the long range comp, you
Yeah.
know, and you're not the one with the early comp that needs to make it, when you're even gold, you're feeling great.
Yeah,
We saw in that fight, they were able to let Malphite Rammus dive the backline, and Jin, Morgana, Xerath were able to hold up without those two, which is a huge sign. When your long range carries hold up and win the fight against the enemy front line while your front line is winning against Solution Pike, that's huge, because now Jin's 5 kills, he's got the Gale Force, got Rapid Fire Cannon, Xerath has a stopwatch now, Morgana's completed the Zhonya's. It gets really hard to dive that back line now.
It does. It does indeed. I mean...
But you do have a
Yes.
Pike, and every team fight with Pike is
Yes.
dangerous, because the second someone drops low, even since it's percentage health, if Malphite even gets to that percentage or Rammus gets to that percentage, they can be ulted through it, and all of a sudden you thought you had this beefy guy with a decent amount of health left in front of you, and he's gone, and you're left with Pike, Nocturne, Silas, and Galio in front of you.
Absolutely true. And, I mean, there's a serious Wombo combo possibility with, you know, Silas using Malphite, ult, Galio, Nocturne all coming in on him. Oh, wild card in a bit of a pickle right here. Lights do go out, probably to stop the taunt. Well played. Pike, maybe seeing if he can find something. Nice.
Oh.
Nocturne will go in. Galio coming in as well. Let's see if we can see what we were talking about right there. A lot of ults being used already. Rammus in the front line, just absolutely getting cut down. That was kind of surprising. I did not expect Rammus to die so quickly.
No, and that's a jungler dead. We'll see if they decide to pull the trigger on anything here. Looks like they're going to walk away. Still very dangerous with Malphite to group up in the pit.
Very much so. Malphite ult is live. And Wildcard's flash is down. Look at this Nocturne on the back. Oh, so much CC. Oh, Nocturne couldn't decide which way to go. Will go for the Blast Cone. Very nice.
Does escape. We do see they are able to cut through the Rammus decently, which is a really good sign for Bingus Flingus, because you don't want to reach the point in the game where your mostly AD comp is not able to cut through that. Galio and Silas aren't exactly high AP champions. You expect them to have a little bit of upfront burst, but then kind of fall off in consistent damage over the fight.
Yeah.
So the more you're able to actually, you know, burn through this Rammus, not let him get more items, not let him stay on the map farming, it's good. But we do feel a bit of a clock in this game, as the longer it goes on, the tankier Rammus and Malphite become, the harder it becomes to kill them with your comp as Lucian. Not exactly a late game hyper carry.
Absolutely. Rammus only has 2 items right now. Which is, you know, less than I thought. So there certainly is a long way to go when it comes to the tank stats there. Also,
Yes.
thank you so much, Sass Peach, for the follow. Thanks for being the newest investor in the low-budget LCS. We're going to see you at the board meetings in Vermont at the Denny's. You got to go around back. Talk to our buddy Todd. He's the assistant manager. He'll let you in. And pancakes are on us. We'll see you there. Now,
It is good to note Nocturne has, and Galio really, have maintained farming extremely well in this
Yes.
game.
excellent point. Absolutely true. I mean, that's what's, you know, given them even the slight lead that they've got right now.
Yeah, and there's always the danger of Nocturne gets an ult into your backline and Galio on top of it. This game is extremely close, and it feels like the next team fight is really going to decide a lot of what happens in this game.
Could not agree more. Look at this 5-stack. I mean, Galio causing pressure down here on the bot side. 15 seconds till Dragon comes up. And maybe Bingus Flingus is willing to trade this Dragon for a Baron? It's hard to tell what the plan is at this moment, but they are split.
Yeah, Bingus does have, you know, the flexibility of already having stacked 2 dragons. It is a Cloud Soul, which isn't the most important soul to have, but it doesn't look like they're going to do either. Just not in position to punish here, but ultimately that's okay. You're at a 2-2 dragon state, and you'd probably rather have a Mountain and a Kim dragon than 2 clouds at this point anyways.
Absolutely. And, yeah, really good restraint on the side of Bingus Flingus. You know, I think close range teams that have a ton of engage, you can feel pressured to use that at every opportunity, and that was an opportunity, and they chose to stay their hand, wait for a better chance. As you said, that second Cloud Dragon's not going to win anybody the game.
Unless you die at it. The only way it wins
Right.
the game is if you all in to try to stop it and die at it.
Really, really, really good point. 100%. Also, Balsa Dragon 2. Thank you so much for following the Low Budget LCS. Great name, very evocative. I want a D&D stat sheet on what Balsa Dragon stats would be. That's going to be Rammus pulled a little bit closer. Ooh, binding lands, though. That's significant. Can Pyke escape right here? A little bit of a speed up. Very nice. Oh. Some great anti-chase CC there.
Good job from both teams. Just competing for vision constantly, trying to clear, make teams face check, and getting a good punish.
You feel how fragile Lucian and Pyke are in these fights now. Xerath and Jhin are really starting to hurt.
Yeah, and one issue is they don't have the luxury to kind of wait for the perfect engage a lot of the time because Xerath's poke is going to get you so low you can't fight at all. So great job here by Tickle Teemo, just recognizing we can just siege.
100%, and that's going to be the tower falling down. And I mean, look at this with Bingus Flingus electing saying, hey, okay, we're going to go, you're going to go straight, we're going to go left and right.
Yeah, they're trying to get this 1-3-1. Yeah, they're trying to get this 1-3-1, but unfortunately, Sylas and Galio just don't take towers extremely fast, and they're not strong enough to where they can, if Malphite faces, they can't stay in the lane versus Malphite. So they're kind of at the leisure of saying, hopefully our wave is in the correct place and we can make a play over there. But right now, Tickle Teemo kind of has the run of the map.
Wait, hold on a second. Holy shit. Balsa Dragon, I can't tell you how much that means to me. They say you're like one of the only people to pronounce it right off the rip. That's never been said about me before. There's
a first for everything. Here you go.
Wow. I really appreciate that. Balsa, you already were always welcome around here, but now you're doubly always welcome around here.
You're super welcome.
You're super welcome. Really, really appreciate it. I've been mispronouncing things all day. Is the context and background for that. Ask them how I say beef stroganoff. Yes, fresh off the stroganoff instant as well.
It's perfect.
Sure.
You lose one, you win one immediately.
Exactly. Perfect. Lot of jockeying for position here. Both these teams know exactly what's on the line. I feel like they sense what you did, that the next fight is really going to dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah, and we're reaching the level 16 on some of these solo laners. Extremely strong. The tier 3 ultimates. That's 5 shots of the Xerath ultimate for people who are counting. But Infinity Edge finished on the Jhin. And this is a good time for people who play competitively. This is a good tip for you. Whenever a team hits an item spike, like a third item, you don't want to fight until...
Okay. Taunt into a taunt. Here. Interrupted it. Nocturne going to go in deep, though. Let's see what can be done about this. Nocturne really trying to find his target, but Ram is doing a great job of frontlining. Galio will survive, but Jhin is here, and that is a lot of damage. A flash away. Oh, a flash to avoid the CC, but Xerath is here. They get the kill. Soggy bottom, boys. That's 2 for nothing. And now Baron is on the table. Do they have the tools to disrupt Baron?
I think definitely there's a Malphite ult still up. You still have Jhin ult. There's no jungler to interrupt this. And it's just not safe for Sylas and Lucian to even try to harass at this.
They've pretty much got it in the bag. There's nothing that can really be tossed in. And Bingus Flingus is going to treat it as such. Lucian's just going to take down a tower in the mid lane. They're going to take what they can get. Some pings onto him, but Baron's in their hand now.
Yeah, third dragon is going to spawn for somebody.
Oh, a flash. Wait a second. I don't think he dodged that. I think that was just the hair of a miss right there. Rammus following up. Very, very nice. All right, really wish we had instant replay now.
Yeah, that was spicy. There is another tower taken in the bot lane. They're almost certainly going to give this dragon up, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They are TPing back in to try to secure it.
Boy, that had to have just been a hair off.
He was right next. It had to be. Oh, you know?
Maybe. I don't know.
I
don't know, man. And we'll never know. All we know is that he got out of that situation, and Tickle Teemo is going to go for their third Drake.
Now things are starting to get where those Cloud Dragons really matter.
Yes.
Because Rammus is extremely fast.
He's so fast. So quick. Wrath grabbing that blue buff. Exactly who you want to have it. And even with all this, even though it feels like Tickle Me Teemo is in the driver's seat right now, still only a 1,200 gold difference.
Yeah, and you still have this team fight comp from Bingus Flingus that, Jin has no flash now. There's the opportunity to get there, and Lucian has finished a third item. So what I was saying before that crazy fight is when a team hits an item breakpoint, like 3 completed items,
Yeah.
even if they have an extra component.
Oh, Malphite might be the target here.
Does have ult. Okay.
He does.
As long as you hit the same 3-item breakpoint, even if they have an extra component, what really matters is how many completed items they have.
Sure.
So now that Lucian has 3 items, this is probably the next best opportunity.
Oh, that's a great binding. A double Malphite ult. Galio is going to come in. Only going to knock up the Malphite, though, and Silas is in a rough spot. Nocturne going to go for the Zerath. A great choice, but he's going to go golden. 2 down already for Bingus Flingus, and it looks like a third. Nocturne going to have some trouble getting out of this one right here. They're just going to start chasing. That's the taunt. They've got the follow-up damage. He's going to make him work for it. 3 for nothing, and they've got Baron. We have seen this story before.
Yeah, masters of the team fight is Tickle Me Teemo as they late game
Very
engages.
nice, Sonya's. Really well played. Excellent taunt as well. Living for a long time, but will still go down. Rammus is going to get that one. They've got some turrets to cut through, but they've got Baron empowered minions.
Yeah, this almost certainly feels like it's going to be an inhib at the least.
Certainly at the least. 6 seconds till Silas comes back up. Nocturne back up in 13. They are going to pull off a responsible adult move to not try and push for the win right there.
The gentleman's move of taking the inhib and leaving.
Yes, of course.
I gotta say, Tickle Me Teemo, their late game team fighting and just recognizing not just what they want to do to win, but what Bingus Flingus has to do to win, which is get this wombo combo, fight off and just staying as a group. Anytime someone's in a position they can get picked, people are constantly collapsing on it, making sure that they're safe, and they really haven't given a window for Bingus Flingus to get back in the game yet.
No, they have not. And now the gold lead starting to stretch. We're starting to see numbers that reflect what we're feeling here. 4K.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Malphite, Rammus, both 3-item tanks. Now the short range on the enemy team. Much like last game, we're starting to feel it in these team fights.
Absolutely. Taunt coming through. Nice. Galio just gonna do a nice little hop to safety there.
They will siege mid with this comp. Very annoying against the Morgana Zerath Jhin to try to clear waves at the tower. Lots of poke, lots of damage for free.
Absolutely, this tower gonna fall really fast. Some nice CC coming out of Jhin. Wow, Viking does so much damage.
Ooh. Flash is back on Jhin also.
Wild. Sammy and someone you don't know. Listen, if you guys are going to fight, you know how it has to go down. It has to go down at the Denny's, okay? Only during the board meetings, and you can only fist fight in the parking lot. So save it till then. Okay, inhib does fall. That's the second inhib to fall.
Yeah, imagine this is pretty much rinse and repeat. You have a comp that's ahead with lots of poke. You just siege up these lanes. Someone has to clear bot. Someone's going to have to clear mid. And you have Baron pretty soon. Even if you weren't able to get this, it's pretty easy to fall back to that.
They've got to pull the trigger soon. Bingus Flingus has to make the fight happen. They can't be on the back foot. You said it time and time again, the Zerath poke, and we're seeing it right now. Look at that. Oh.
If one skill shot lands, they all land.
Absolutely.
Zerath E into the Morgana Q, into the Zerath Q. And like I said before, now it's 4 completed items on Jhin. You only have 3 on the Lucian. It's dangerous now.
Absolutely. A classic little bug right there. Don't you worry about it. Inhib.
Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. Don't look too deeply. Don't look behind the curtain. Speaking of, here we go. The lights turn out, and they are going to absolutely wreck Rammus's day right there. 1 for 1. The base lives.
Base lives, but triple inhib. Baron is up. You wish if anybody died, it probably wasn't your jungler. But if that's the cost for 3 inhibs, you take it. Soul and Baron. They have their pick of the litter on the map. Very fun place to be if you're a Tickle Me Teemo player or fan.
Absolutely. Nock did ult the stream, Balsa Dragon. Well said. Now, Nocturne's just going to try and rush it. Let's see. Zerath dropping some damage. Okay, the camera doesn't want us to see it. A great flash there from the Nocturne, but the CC will land, and that is just everything. I'm sorry. You're going to come back to some trouble right here, Stilt. That will be Soul getting taken down by Tickle Me Teemo.
Very fast team now. 4-shot Jin going to be chasing after you. Look at him waddling extremely quickly.
Yep, zoom, zoom, zoom. That's just the name of the game these days. They're going to go for Baron, too. They want to have all the cards.
Yeah, you know, you want to be able to check that box, get all of your stickers for your lunchbox, you know, everything you can have on the map.
Absolutely. The I visited Baron Pit sticker. They're going to slap it onto the back of their car. Nice. Easy.
Now's the real test. Do they go straight to the base? Yeah, okay, they are. I was going to say, do they do the gentleman's base? Go back to base, fill up on all your items, and then go in, or
right,
they're just going to march down.
Spend as much money as possible before the game ends. But we'll see. We'll see. There's at least one last team fight here in the books. We're going to see what Bingus Flingus can make of it. Listen, at the very least, this is practice. Here we go. Lights do go out. They are going to be nice, really nice Galio engage coming in as well. Not going to be able to knock anybody up, though. Hambo Baggins goes. Golden does save themselves. A great taunt in the back line. Red health bar is starting to fall, though. A flash over the wall. Wildcard causing some trouble. Almost able to take the Jin out, but now on their own, separated from the front line. That's going to be a taunt. And the Soggy Bottom Boys still taken out in the end. A great fight from Wildcard there. Really good from Bingus Flingus as a whole, but that's a quick Rammus. Not much you can do about that. And it will be Tickle Me Teemo winning 2 games back-to-back as the Nexus slowly explodes.
I gotta say, we got to see the tale of 2 games. Well, really, tale of 2 halves in both games. Bingus Flingus both games felt like they played the early game extremely well, but whether by comp or just in what they were doing at the end of the game as far as like punishing mistakes, it just felt like Tickle Me Teemo really understood what they needed to do to win, which was scale. Let's get to this team fighting phase. We know we understand what our comp does extremely well, and they were able to both games get to that.
Absolutely. Now, Noble Wolf asked, who's the teams to be looking at in Commercial League? In our opinion, and I gotta say, the LBLCS has some very creative folks who actually do write-ups in the Discord. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, please feel free to join the Discord. Look for the Press Corps channel, and you'll actually see some great write-ups on that very topic, Noble Wolf. Yeah, look at that Jin damage. Absolutely top in the charts. Zerath not too far behind, and I think we can see that the long range sort of won out in the end here. Absolutely able to outdamage the other team.
Yeah, big props for the mid lane for Tickle Me Teemo. Both games, the Aurelion Soul and the Zerath, felt like was kind of just a staying point. They didn't feel like, of all the lanes that made plays, it felt like mid lane was a rock for them. Wasn't able to really get killed by ganks. Did a good job farming and being relevant in both games. And then the late game just taking over. You know, given that safety blanket for Steam, knowing mid lanes, you know, they're not getting ganks off here. I'm farming well. Don't worry, you guys. We're going to be able to scale to late. So yeah, really good from Tickle Me Teemo today.
Absolutely. And speaking of the team, we're going to do a very fast interview. If you want to interview just a couple seconds to see how the team's performing, if they've got any goals, anyone they're keeping their eye on. And then we're gonna raid someone, and then we're gonna get out of your hair. Also, Nyack47, thank you so much for following the Low Budget LCS, for being our newest investor. While we wait for Tickle Me Teemo to respond, let's do a really, really quick recommendation section. Vega, is there anything in the last week that has entered into your life that you feel like is worth recommending to the good people of chat?
Let me think. Not in the last week, but this is just more a general recommendation for you guys. I got the book, The Creative Act: A Way of Being, which was written by Rick Rubin, who is a music producer. Very great read if you're any type of creative and like his creative process. I very much enjoyed it. And I think you guys might too, if you're into that kind of thing, if you like music and things.
What a great recommendation. I just wrote that down. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. My recommendation is going to be on HBO Max, the Harley Quinn animated show. I've just been having a hoot.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. Really enjoying it. All right, it looks like Viking is here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the consulate. Viking, please pull yourself up a chair. We've baked your favorite flavor of macaroons. Tell us, how did that game feel?
That was an intense first half of the first game.
For sure, my guy, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. They felt very coordinated. So we had to stay focused and remember to scale. You know, the Aurelion Soul pick. We did not get the chance to play that week 1. Our mid laner's been grinding out some games, so it felt good to finally get it and play to it. So.
Nice. You guys, you definitely did the hold on, wait for late game. You guys held your course, survived as best you could. What'd you take away from game 1 that you brought into game 2 to sort of like adjust the course? Because you had a much more dominant game 2.
Honestly, it was kind of more of the same, as stick to the plan. I mean, even going into the bans, we kind of stuck to most of the same bans for the first 3. And then we picked carries that we knew we could do damage with a good front line, good engage, made it obvious and when we're fighting. So not too much switching anything from the first game, more of just remembering how we play, how we fight.
That's beautiful, man. Listen, stay the course. Trust your instincts. It's clearly bringing you guys places. Any thoughts or feelings about the rest of the season? How's the team gelling? How have the scrims and practices been going?
Interesting. This is our first season playing together. And I think we have a very wide range of talent on this team. Nice. Our top lane was a substitute this week. But glad he could step in. So I think we're just looking to have fun. Because we vary in skill level a lot. So hopefully we can make playoffs. I think that's our goal. Beautiful, man.
Great goal to have. All right, Viking. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your night, my guy.
Yeah, thanks for streaming it. That was awesome. I loved watching the tail ends after every game. So thank you so much.
Hell yeah, our pleasure. They were great games. All right. Beautiful. That was Viking, captain of Tickle Me, Teemo. Well, folks, we've done it again. We've taken another night and spun it into something. You know what? I'm gonna say that it wasn't bad at all. It was a great time. Always a great time having Vega up here. You crushed it again, my dude.
You always set me up well. Always a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to talk about League of Legends.
Absolutely. Anything that you would like to say or do? The stage is yours, Vega. If there's anything you want to drop.
No, just thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks everybody for watching. It's a lot of fun doing this. Great games tonight again. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. All right, folks. Well, feel free, if you'd like, to give us a follow. Sibanak. Ooh, Pigeon Toes 13. Thank you both so much for giving us a follow. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we got a Discord. We got a YouTube. We've got, obviously, the Twitch that you're watching now. So you can find us in all those places. I think we're doing a stream tomorrow night and Wednesday night as well. So feel free to swing on back through. All right. Well, my name's LaChance. I've been joined by Oh My Vega, and we will catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good night.